Hey guys, and welcome to the Igloo. And after a few takes, I think I finally got this when it comes to understanding most of this. So, I'm going to give you guys the lowdown for what this patch has done to break a lot of things and making it so super simple when it comes to Fallout 76. So, before we had a Nuka Dark that can give you a lot of strength and perception bonuses when you drink it. And because Nuka Dark was considered a Nuka, it actually worked with the Nuka perk instead of working with a alcohol perk. So it didn't work the same way as it did, because what you would do is you would consume like whiskey or rum and you would get that strength, and then you would consume a Nuka. So you can still consume a Nuka, but the new thing is a NukaShine. A NukaShine is something that is going to be extremely powerful. It not only gives you 100% unarmed damage buffs, okay, but it also reduces your AP that you use while running, and it refreshes so much faster. So during the stream that I had today, I pretty much gave an example of how OP this can be. You can run pretty much forever. You stop for 1 second, you instantly regen everything. It doesn't matter. VATS melee builds with this is insane. You don't need to worry about it. You get out of VATS, you're back in again with this kind of build, especially when you're doing a build like that. Then you also have the other categories of, let's say you want to do the max damage. So let's say, for example, you are a full unyielding build and you have all the setup on top of it. You have, I don't know if adrenaline reaction was fixed or not after this patch, for this DLC patch, but I do know that Nerd Rage on top of everything else, and making sure that you have all the damage multiplicative properties when it comes to this, because you got to remember that NukaShine is a multiplicative property when you add it with Party Boy. Now, Party Boy, just like in the video that I put in the past, is extremely overpowered, especially with this NukaShine. So, normally, you do 100% damage. But with a Perk 1 card, you can have 200% damage. And a Perk 3 card, there's 300% damage. This is also with the 2 suffixes for AP regen, as well as just being able to run faster. You don't even use anything. You have Party Boy with this card on top of everything else, and you are a literal melee god with just having this mixture combination. Now, I've already seen on Reddit that people are what they are using this for. They're going to be farming the queen with this. Now, the disadvantage to using this NukaShine is that you teleport away to a random location. You can also use that as an advantage. So maybe if you don't want to spend your caps, you just picked up a quantum, and let's say you want to go to a different part of the map that nobody's onto, right? Or you haven't been to, or whatever, or you don't want to spend the caps. You go to wherever you want to make it, whether you make it at your camp, or you make it at the quest line stuff, and I don't want to spoil the quest for you because everybody's like, where is it? What are you doing? I just found out where the start location is, and then I went from there, and then I did the quest. It was extremely simple. Like, it's elementary simple on how to do the quest. I did it on stream. I was just like, oh, okay. This riddle is literally line by line. And it's like giving you a navigation system of how to do it. It's not hard. So, when I got everything done, I then thought to myself, what else could I do this for? So, then I had to think about the PvP servers, because I'm not only going to think about the PvE, but I'm also going to think about the PvP servers. So, what they were planning on is to not have fast travel enabled for this setup. So, let's say, for example, you are a melee build, or you're not a melee build. Let's just say that you are something in between, right? You are in a PvP fight, right, on this server, and you can't fast travel. You can only go back to your camp, and I think 76. But let's say you consume this NukaShine, right? And as soon as the withdrawal effects kick in, and you are no longer feeling the effects of the NukaShine, you teleport. This not only teleports when you are hidden, you are not in combat, but this also teleports while you're in combat. So you must completely think about what you are doing with this. These guys pretty much gave some crazy stuff that is going to be happening when it comes to griefing on top of everything else, because you're there, you're gone. You're there, you're gone. Like, people will get out instantly. Like, if you have a max carry weight character and you get killed because of some griefer, they pop in NukaShine, they have all your stuff, they leave. They're gone. End of story. Like, it's not it's not really looking good when it comes to that, because I'm not going to be like these other YouTubers that are just going to be like, yeah, everything's good, everything's fine. Look, I'm going to be very reasonable with you. Server stability is better on PC. All right? They made it better because of hangs. But when you initially load onto the server, I'd be getting 2 to 1 FPS. Okay? When you're first initially getting on a server, it's really bad. Like, I have a 1080 Ti, and this should not be a problem. This should not be an issue. This should not be something that should be happening with the AAA studio still after, what is this, the 7th patch now? So this should not be a problem. Yes, they did make the frames better. They did make the servers better. They added new destroy functions for people that have over 1,500 carry weight. Like, that's fair. That's really fair when it comes to understanding where your audience is, what people have for legacy accounts and everything else. Because why? Because people like to hoard, people like to hold their junk, and people like to loot. That's part of what every Fallout experience has been since Bethesda Studios has owned the rights to Fallout. So, we're going to go into a little bit more of what I've seen as experiences. So if you're going from, let's say your example, like with mine, you have a 1440p setup for Fallout 76. And then you go to 1080p because you're trying to capture it, like for what I was doing on stream. Not always the best case scenario, but then I couldn't change the i9 file. I had a problem. I had to bring my thing back to 1440p. So I was having a lot of issues just starting up. It took me 31 minutes to just play the game and to figure out what the hell was going on so I could actually enjoy playing Fallout 76. I did the quest. I enjoy it, but I have to do it 15 other times because of all the characters that I have and all the builds that I've been working on for this channel as well when it came to like introducing content, having different content, seeing about different builds, varieties, about what can be tested, because I want to be actually able to test things for everybody that watches my channel when it comes to any game that I play, whether it's Apex Legends, Fallout 76, or anything else like that. I put my foot in the door when it comes to understanding the depth and analysis to this. So we're going to get into it with the idea of why this is really overpowered. So we can talk about Party Boy and NukaShine alone, which is 300% unarmed damage. So you have a Power Fist with a puncturing mod, right? And it's bloodied with a 40% power attack. Or let's go to the other side of the coin, which is a Bloodied Deathclaw with an extra claw with 40% power attack. And if you have 40% or the extra swing speed, I forget what it was, but if you have the extra swing speed on top of it, your DPS goes through the roof. Okay, you could probably do a crazy amount more damage because of just consuming 300% more of that. Now, I think personally that was a worse call than having a Demo Expert 5 Legacy from patch 1, 2, and 3. Why? Because now you can insta-kill more things as melee and make it stupid. Like, it's really stupid on how OP that you've made melee, Bethesda, because it's not even fair for most people. Like, if you have a character, so there's currently a bug in this game where you can become invisible forever. And it's really hard to fight those people because the only counter to them, if they have a proper build around them, like when I say a proper build, I mean like a full Cavalier set or a full Assassin Sentinel set. Either category, it's really hard to fight these guys if they have a piece that's a Chameleon Sentinel or Assassin and they're unkillable. Now, there are people out there like this. You're talking about the extremas of people that are on Fallout 76. But you got to remember, those extremas play this game. So they're going to realize on how powerful this new stuff is, where they can just go away. They can go away mid-combat. They can go away with a bounty on them, with somebody chasing them in the middle of it, as soon as they have the withdrawal effect. Like, that one mechanic should not be in the game. That one mechanic where they can just teleport away. That alone is unacceptable. What it should do is make the player fall on the ground. Make the player have a new animation that causes them to be unconscious, so they can't defend themselves. That would actually make more sense as a detriment to using something that gives you to the ability of 300% more unarmed damage, because it's insane. So with my calculations, if you have everything right and you do my unyielding bloodied build on top of this that I have in my videos, which you will see in the card, that I was almost able to get up to 64 strength, and you still can to a certain extent, but with the nerf with Nuka Dark, because Nuka Dark is not to the same ability as what it once was, you can still get pretty high up there with this build. So again, it's still extremely overpowered. I could probably assess that you can probably get up to, I think, around 45k damage still with this, probably, on top of everything else. If you have the right build, you have the right parts on you, you're min-maxing properly on top of everything else, the Scorch Beast is just going to be farmed. Yeah, at the same time, I understand that the Scorch Beast now gives you radiation when you get up to it and give it a hug. I understand this. Okay, I also understand that there's also things called Rad Shield out there and other things that you can actually do, like kiting her outside the nuke zone. Very important, because, I mean, the whole point of it is to stay within spec. So if you have everything to be in spec, then you can literally farm her. You have something that de-aggroes from your position, or let's say you're doing a min-max with a stealth build mixed into it, and then you have full shadowed with your unyielding Sentinel or unyielding Cavalier. And you have those mods on top of your legendary mods. Like, it's not really hard to think of, especially if you know the game. And you and you know the mechanics for everything, and you know all the prefixes and suffixes for every armor type, as well as the mods that you can personally put on. It can be really broken. There's some things that are really bad about this, and I just personally don't like it at all. I really wish that they thoroughly thought about how much extra damage. Now, personally, like I said, I think 33% would be pretty good. 33% extra damage compared to 100%. And then Party Boy, at least you'll be doing 100%. Like, that's within reason. Okay? That's within proper, like, balancing and design of a game. But 100%, and then you have Party Boy, max level, 300%. I'm sorry. It really screws with me that they let this to be that level, and now they're going to be introducing later in this month PvP servers. If you guys like this kind of content, please leave a like, leave a comment down below. Have a good one.